Thus saith the Lord, even by the young men of the princes of the province. And then he said, Who shall order the battle? And he answered, Thou. And he numbered the young men of the princes of the provinces, and there 132, and after them he numbered all the people, even all the children of Israel, being 7,000. And they went out at noon, but Benad was drinking himself drunk in the pavilions, and he said, and he and the kings, the 30 and the 32 kings that helped him, and the young men of the princes in the provinces went out first, and Benad sent out, and they told him, saying, There are men come out of Samaria. And he said, Whether they be come out of peace, take them alive, or whether they be come out of the war, take them alive. Those young men of princes of the provinces came out of the city, and the army which followed them. And they slew every one his men. And the Syrians fled, and Israel pursued them. And Benad, the king of Syria, escaped on an horse with the horsemen. And the king of Israel went out and smote the horses, the chariots, and slew the Syrians with a great slaughter. And the prophet came to the king of Israel and said unto him, Go strengthen thyself and march, and see what thou doest. For at the return of the year, the king of Syria will come up against thee. And the prophet came to Israel, to the king of Israel, and said unto him, Go strengthen thyself and mark, and see what thou dost. For at the return of the year, the king of Syria will come up against thee. And the servants of the king of Syria and said unto him, Their gods are gods of the hills, therefore they were stronger than we. But let us fight against them in the plain, and surely we shall be stronger than they. And do this thing, take the kings away, every man out of his place, and put captains in their rooms, and number thee an army like the army that thou hast lost, horse for horse, and chariot for chariot, and we will fight against them in the plain. And surely we shall be stronger than they. And he hearkened unto their voice, and did so. And it came to pass at the return of the year that Benhadad numbered the Syrians, and went up to Aphek to fight against Israel. And the children of Israel were numbered, and were all present, and were against them. And the children of Israel pitched before them like two little flocks of kids, but the Syrians filled the country. And there came a man of God, and spake unto the king of Israel, and said, Thus saith the Lord, because the Syrians have said, The Lord is God of the hills, but he is not God of the valleys. Therefore will I deliver all this great multitude into thine hand, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And they pitched one over against the other 7 days. So it was that in the seventh day the battle was joined, and the children of Israel slew of the Syrians and 100,000 footmen in one day. But the rest fled to Aphek into the city, and there a well fell upon 27,000 of the men that were left. And Benhadad fled and came into the city, into the inner chamber. And his servants said unto him, Behold, now we have heard that the kings of the house of Israel are merciful. Means, let us, I pray thee, but put a sackcloth and on our loins and ropes upon our heads, and go out of the city to the king of Israel. Peradventure he will save thy life. Put sackcloth on their loins and put ropes on their heads, and came to the king of Israel and said, Thy servant Benhadad saith, I pray thee, let me alive. And he said, Is yet alive? Is my brother? Now the men did diligently observe whether anything would come from him, and did hastily catch it. And they said, Thy brother Benhadad? And he said, Go ye bring him. And Benhadad came forth to him, and he caused him to come up into the chariot. And Benhadad said unto him, The city which my father took from thy father I will restore, and thou shalt make street for thee in Damascus, as my father made in Samaria. Then said Ahab, I will send thee away with this covenant. So he made a covenant with him and sent him away. And a certain man of the sons of the prophets said unto his neighbor, In the word of the Lord, smite me, I pray thee. And the man refused to smite him. Then said he unto him, Because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Lord, because Behold, as soon as thou depart from me, a lion shall slay thee. As soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. Sad, bro. Sad. Hold up, guys. Just the words. Name. They said he unto him, because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Lord, behold, as soon as thou art departed from me, a lion shall slay thee. And as soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. And he found another man and said, Smite me, I pray thee. And the man smote him, so that he, in smiting, he wounded him. So the prophet departed and waited for the king by the way, and disguised himself with ashes upon his face. And as the king passed, he cried unto the king, and he said, Thy servant went out into the midst of the battle, and behold, a man turned aside and brought a man unto him. And he said, Keep this man, if by any means he be missing, then shall thy life be for his life, or else thou shalt pay a talent of silver. And as soon as thy servant was busy, and there he was gone. And the king of Israel said unto him, So shall thy judgment be, thyself hast decided it. And he hastened and took the ashes away from his face. And the king of Israel discerned him that he was of the prophets. And he said to him, Thus saith the Lord, because thou hast let go out of thy hand a man whom I appointed to utter destruction, therefore thy life shall go for his and thy people for his people. And the king of Israel went to the house, heavy and displeased, and came to Samaria. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab the king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Samaria, and give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. And Naboth said unto Ahab, The Lord forbid it me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. And Ahab came into the house, having displeased of the Lord which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my father. And he laid down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread. But Jezebel his wife came to him and said, why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread? And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and he said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of the Naboth the Jezreelite, Jezreelite. So she wrote in Ahab's name and seal and sent letters unto the elders and the nobles, and that were in the city of dwelling in Naboth. And she wrote in the letter saying, Proclaim a fast and set Naboth on the high among the people, and set two men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, Thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and carry him out and stone him that he may die. And they wanted this. Jezebel was straight out evil, dude. Killing someone to make Ahab happy. That's so horrible, bro. Horrible. And on the land of the city, when the elders and nobles were the inhabitants of his city, did Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto him, they proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came and two men, children of Bala, or Belial, and set before him, and the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in his presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. And he carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones, and he died. And they sent Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth and his right, which is refused to give you money for that. Naboth is dead, but is not alive, but dead. And it came to pass when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard and the rock, which was that take possession of it. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whether he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth shall dogs lick thy blood, even mine. And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to the work of evil in the sight of the Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take thee. Bro, oh no. Did I go to the next? I think I lost mine. Oh, and I have, yeah, and they have a set of their lives that hast thou found me, O mine enemy, and he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of the Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut down and left in Israel, and will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Rasha the third. And Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city, the dog shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For there was none like unto Ahab, which sold himself to work of wickedness in the sight of the Lord, which Jezebel his wife stirred up. And he did very abundantly, or abominably, is following idols according to all things, so did the Amorites, whom the Lord he cast out of before the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when they had heard those words, he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted, lay in sackcloth, and went softly. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Seest thou Ahab humbleth himself before thee? Because he humbleth himself before thee, I will not bring this evil in his days. But in his son days I will bring, but in his son's days I will bring the evil upon his house. Okay, it's a good thing you're thinking, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? You're not supposed to fight lust. You just, yeah, because guess what, bro? It's like tearing out a weed that will never die. Like naturally, you know. Naturally, we're supposed to flee from it because we can't kill it. So I guess we die. Crazy, bro. After all that, First Kings 22. And they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel. And it came to pass in the third year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said unto his servants, Know ye that Ramoth in the Gilead is ours, and we be still and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. And he said unto Joshua, Wilt thou go with me to the battle of Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Why are I thee at the word of the Lord today? And the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth and Gilead to the battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into thine hand. And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides that we might inquire of him? And the king of Israel said unto Jephthah, there is yet one man, Malachi, or Micah, and Micaiah, the son of Ahimlah, by whom we inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, for he does not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jephthah said, let not the king say so. And the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah the son of Amalek. And the king of Israel and Jephthah the king of Judah said, each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zidiac the son of Shananah made him horns of iron, and said, thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou have consumed them. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand. And the messenger that was gone called Malachi, or Micah, spake unto him, saying, behold, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king of one mouth, let the word, I praise thee, be like the word of one, and speak that the which is good. And Micah said, as the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that I will speak. So we came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to the battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered, go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I endure thee, that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, these have no master, let them return every man into his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee you would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him, on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab? He may go up and fall out Ramoth Gilead. And one said on this manner, and another said on this manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all those prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also, go forth to do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning them. But Zidiac the son of Shanah went near and smote Micah on the cheek and said, which way went the spirit of the Lord for me to speak unto thee? And Micah said, behold, thou shalt see in that day, when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. And the king of Israel take Micah and carry him back unto Elam, to the governor of the city, and to Joshua the king's son, to say, thus saith the king, put this fellow in prison, and feed him with bread and affliction, with water of affliction, until I come in peace. And Micah said, if thou return in all peace, the Lord hath not spoken by me. And he said, hearken, O people, every one of you. So the king of Israel, and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said, Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle, but put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had ruled over his chariot, saying, fight neither with the small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, surely it is the king of Israel. And they turned aside and fight against him. And Jehoshaphat cried out. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of the chariot, turn thine hand and carry him out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day, and the king was stayed up in his chariot against the Syrians, and died at even. And the blood ran out of the wound into the midst of the chariot. And there went a proclamation throughout the house about the going down of the sun, saying, every man to his city, and every man to his own country. So the king died and was brought into Samaria, and they buried the king of Samaria. And one washed the chariot in the pool of Samaria. And the dogs licked up his blood, and they washed his armor according to the word of the Lord which he spake. Now the rest of the acts of Ahab and all he did in the ivory house which he made, and all the cities that he built, are they not written of the book of Chronicles of the king of Israel? And Ahab slept with his fathers, and Ahaz and his son reigned instead. And Jehoshaphat the son of Asa began to reign over Judah in the 4th year of Ahab, the king of Israel. And Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shishi, or Shehi. And he walked in all the ways of Asa his father, and he turned not aside from doing that which was right in the sight of the Lord's eyes, or in the sight of the Lord. Nevertheless, the high places were not taken away, for the people offered and burnt incense yet in the high places. And Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat, that he might be shrewd, and how he warred, and are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Judah? In the remnant of the Sodomites, which remained in the days of his father Asa, and he took out of the land. There was then no king in Edom. A deputy or deputy was king. And Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at either. Then said Azaz, the son of Ahab, unto Jehoshaphat, let my servant go with thy servant in the ships. But Jehoshaphat would not. And Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Jehoram the son reigned instead. And Hazazah, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel and Samaria at the 17th year of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, and reigned 2 years. 2 years over Israel, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of his father, and the way of his mother, and the way of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. For he served Baal, and worshipped him, and provoked to the anger of the Lord God of Israel, according to all that his father had done. I feel kind of sick. And Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahab, and Hazazah fell down to a lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria, and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, go inquire of Bala, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this disease. But the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah the Tishbite, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, it is not because there is not a God in Israel that you inquire of Bala, the god of Ekron. Now therefore, thus saith the Lord, thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. And Elijah departed. Man, bro, Elijah's not playing games, dude. And when the messengers turned back unto him and said unto them, why are you not come back? I looked, we really after investment.